4.4.5. If TK is equal to TR, calculate the coordinates of K. So they are telling us TK is equal to TR. In a previous question, we determined the length of TR as the square root of 145 degrees. We are therefore going to use the distance formula to calculate the coordinates of K. So we are going to say, well, TK equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. We know that TK is equal to TR. Therefore, in the place of TK, we can put the square root of 145 degrees. We are going to use the following coordinates to calculate the distance of TK. We'll use the coordinates of T, which is 3 and 7, and the coordinates of R, which is A and B. Remember, we determined that B is 12A minus 29. So, in the place of B, I can say 12A minus 29. Let's start by substituting our x values in. So it will be 3 minus a squared. Let's substitute our y values in. We will get 7 minus 12a minus 29 squared. So we'll leave the square root of 145 on the left-hand side. Let's expand the brackets. 3 minus a squared can be written as 3 minus a times 3 minus a. We'll leave the 7 as it is. We'll multiply the minus with the 12a, which will give us minus 12a. And we'll multiply the minus 1 with the minus 29, which will give us plus 29 squared. Let's continue. So for the 3 minus a times 3 minus a, we will first multiply our 3's. 3 times 3, which will give me 9. We will then multiply the minus a and the 3, which will give me minus 3a. We will then multiply our minus a and our minus a, which will give us plus a squared. And then we will multiply our minus a with the 3, which will give me minus 3a. If we look at the other bracket, we will say minus 12a, and 7 plus 29 will give me 36 squared. Let's continue. We'll leave the 9 as it is. Minus 3a will give me minus 6a plus a squared. We have minus 12a plus 36 squared in this other bracket. So we will multiply these brackets out. Say minus 12a plus 36 times minus 12a plus 36. Let's multiply out the other two brackets. So we'll say minus 12a times minus 12a. That will give me plus 144a squared. Next up, we will say plus 36 minus 12a, and that will give me minus 432a. We also have to multiply our 36 with our 36. And that will give me plus 1,296. Lastly, we have to multiply this minus 12a with the 36, which will give me minus 432a. As you can see, we have square roots on both sides. To get rid of these square roots, we're going to just square root both sides. And we will be left with 145 equals 9 minus 6a plus a squared plus 144a squared minus 864a plus 1,296. This is a quadratic equation that I have to solve. So I want one side to be 0. To do that, I will just subtract both sides with 145. Therefore, I will get 0 on the left-hand side, and I will be left with 145 a squared minus 870 a plus 1,160. To solve this, I'm going to use my formula to solve a quadratic equation. So a will be equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Remember, my quadratic equation will look like this. It's ax squared plus bx plus c. So my b will be 870, but it's minus 870. So it will be minus 870 plus minus 870 squared minus 4. The value of a is 145. And the value of c is 1,160. I will divide that by 2 times a, which is 145. If I put these values in my calculator, I will get that a is either 2 or my a is either equal to 4. Remember, we want the coordinates of k. So we need our a value and our b value. Remember, we previously calculated the value of b as 12a minus 29. So we can write it down here. B equals 12a minus 29. B equals 12a minus 29. Let's substitute 2 into this equation. So 12 times 2 minus 29. You put this in your calculator and you'll get a value of minus 5. Let's do the other side. 12 times 4 minus 29. You put this in your calculator and you get 19. So the coordinates of k are either going to be 2 and minus 5 or 4 and 19. We need to determine which answer is going to be correct. If we look at the position of k, we will see that the x value would be positive and that the y value will be negative because k is below the x-axis. So our y has to be negative. If we look at these coordinate pairs, we can see that only one of them has a y value which is negative. Therefore, k cannot be 4 and 19, and the coordinates of k will be 2 and minus 5.